into what's going on in other news, folks. We are kicking off with a pretty sobering statistic. Black women accounted for 6 in 10 new HIV infections. Now, that's according to new data from the CDC. Black women continue to be hit hardest in comparison to white and Hispanic or Latino women. Now, one of the reasons, well, lack of knowing your status.
The numbers are alarming. 2.4 million sexually transmitted infections reported last year. That's more than 100,000 more than the previous year.
This is preventable if people would understand how to actually take steps.
With the most common diseases on the incline being chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. All three can have life-changing effects. Last year, Kings County ranked number 6 in the nation for cases of chlamydia with more than 21,000. Bronx County came in 9th, and Manhattan, number 10.
Of infections like syphilis, gonorrhea, or chlamydia
show that women who engage in sexual activity earlier have a higher number of sex partners, use condoms less, and have trouble negotiating condom use with their partners.
Our state is now seeing the highest rates in certain diseases in a decade. NewsEdge reporter Christopher King tells us why and what doctors say we can do to stop the spread.
Our state is among the leaders in the spike in sexually transmitted infections. Doctors and healthcare advocates worry Georgians are letting their guards down.
We are seeing numbers surge.
The trend, undesirable, yet undeniable.
We do see a 10% positivity rate in STIs per month.
Sexually transmitted infections are surging around the nation and right here in our state.
It's very disturbing.
The Georgia Department of Health Services reports sexually transmitted diseases climbed to their highest levels in a decade. Infections like gonorrhea and syphilis rose 17% in 2021 from the year earlier. 60% from 10 years prior.
With the pandemic and people having more downtime, there may be more activity among intimate partners.
Craziest thing I ever said in the song is a lyric I said, damn, this nigga burn me pussy smoking like a seed.
What the realness?
That's how it gotta be. That's the truth.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Just
go free.
So no, that's how I am. I had chlamydia before though twice.
Okay,
but
that's the most pretty common. Yeah, very common.
This what happened. Me and my nigga was together, and we broke up because he was cheating on me. So then we broke up. Then I went and did me. Then he did him, and then we mixed each other, came back together.
Something went right.
We both was like, what the fuck is this smell?
Oh, shit.
Like, ugh, what's going on? So then we both went to the doctor. Yeah, we went to the doctor together. And then we both was like, well, you fuck 2 people. And he like, you fuck 2 people too. I'm like, well, we don't know who did it. We still don't know.
Did y'all call the people that y'all was with and let them know that something went right?
I think I know who did it. But I'm going to blame my baby daddy though.
Yeah, blame him.
That's my blood, freaky bitch, nut in my guts. You can pull my hair, but don't mess it up. Long weave down my back, bitch, I'm grown, I shake this ass. I'm young and turn your old ass mad. I'm young and turn your old ass mad. Stroke it deep, make me cream. What's up with some nigga lean? Tell me so I know it's real. He fucked me off a perky pill. Rub a nigga do a drill, pump this coochie on his grill. Rub a nigga do a drill, pump this coochie on his grill. Face down, ass up. Rip his head, chunk it up.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and even the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other brethren, you fellow believers, you other elders, you other fellow believers of this faith, even you few sisters, and shalom to the elect. Peace to you. Now I want to touch on this video. Hopefully I can get it my points in pretty quick and make something out of this video, an edifying lesson and an example to some of you few sisters. And let me say to you brothers first who are in these kind of conditions with these particular eves, talking about the newer brothers and some other brothers. They mess with women like this, or you know, they've been involved with women like this, and then they understand now, you know, and your sisters who may have had situations. Now, I remember some years back, even when I was young, and even in these Israelite groups, they would always push the notion that if you lay down with white women, they're dogs, and you would get fleas. So I wonder what all those people who said that about then will have to say about the black woman, so-called black woman. Anyway, this is not just exclusive, women exclusive, right? These Jakes, they're promoters of it too. Now, when you go to the old school, right, you had the group 2 Live Crew. They were singing, this is what they're quoting off of the song back in the 80s with Luke Skywalker. They called him Luther Campbell or whatever his name is. I remember it. And they was promoting that, but it was mostly the men promoting the sexualization of women. So it was using the men to promote this kind of, this kind of doctrine. And then now you've seen it flip, and now the women is jumped on board and promoting it as well, right? So they say that we hate, Amos 5:15 says, hate the evil and love the good. So these videos can go in 100 different directions, but I just want to try to stay on course, because this is, as a nation of people, this is what happened to us as a nation, to prove that we are under the curses. No doubt. Why? Because Exodus 20 says, if thou shalt not have any other God beside me. We believe in the Lord, right? But then we worship other gods over the Lord. This is why we're in those churches. And now in those churches, they told us, don't worry about the laws. They've been done away with. When this society upholds their own laws. But when it comes to the moral laws of us, when it comes to us, there's no law upheld. But the other nationalities, they have their fathers in the home. They have situations in the home that traditionally they pass down. So this was an attack on Jake. But this is why we can't save everybody. This is why the Lord has only chose his elect. We don't give a damn, to be honest. The hell with them. They're made to be degenerates. That's what Jeremiah 2 said. How thou become a strange degenerate. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? So the Most High is using the 2/3 and these type of people in this position to show us, prove more and more that we are under the curse. So really, they're like sacrifices on the left-hand side to prove the point of who we are. So there's no way that you can, any brother who look at something like this and become attracted. See, they're playing on your sexuality. They're playing on your testosterone. Samson saw that Philistine woman. They understand the history of the Israelites, right? So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. Let's get a couple more scriptures. Deuteronomy 28:30. It says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. See, these curses happened then, right? This happened during slavery as well. And it's still happening today. You get a woman? Nope. I don't know why Jake still gets married today. I have no clue. Maybe it's the hope that, Eve put on them that they can change the situation. But I have no clue. These women in interviews saying they want to be free, but they do not understand. This behavior destroys them. They have nobody to lead them. And when Jeremiah 4, the 4th chapter, come to play in the 4 and 20 and 30, when thou put on that, talks about the makeup, the face paintings and the jewels, and then when the hell comes on them, there will be nobody left to protect them. And in these videos, a lot of Jake don't understand either. A lot of you people don't understand what men they hired to push this narrative. even in some of these begging R&B songs. A lot of them are flames. They use them for that particular purpose. Right? Or just Jake in general. This is all really the exploitation of the children of Israel. You don't see them people in the land doing that. And if they do, you know, the violence and the gang violence, and if they do, it's not promoted all over social media. You see that with us, man. Now, the one guy said, well, the activity it's because of doing that thing that happened. It was more activity amongst the intimate partners. How does more activity amongst the intimate partners give you more disease? If you're with a particular person and that person hasn't been messing around, how the hell are you supposed to? How does that work? The more you lay with somebody, the more the chances are you're gonna get a disease. Well, in this society, yeah, because everybody steps out, and then you have men who were taught that they only supposed to have one woman, and they can creep off. The problem is the other woman believe since a man can creep off that they can creep off too. Understanding no matter what a man so-called cheats with, he's going to come back with what he had. A woman do? You don't know what been there, man. So now you got the liberated woman saying, if he can do it, then I can do it. And then you got the men who are doing it and then dipping off. This is what you saw with the Sexy Red. He was messing with two people. She was messing with two people. What would happen according to the law of the Bible? Right? They both would be condemned. Because he's supposed to, if he messed with two other women, they supposed to be his woman, including her. But the society have used, our testosterone as Israelites against us. This is the dangers of teaching that them doctrines with one wife and all that madness, you know? Anyway, so how to stop the problem? You got to follow the laws of the scriptures. That's how you stop the problem. The only way it's going to stop it now is thermonuclear destruction. There ain't nothing stopping this, man. And they don't understand that some of these people are set up and used in that manner. They don't care. They're paid. Some of them are agents. All those rappers are agents, man. Deuteronomy 28:61. It says, let me go to Deuteronomy 28:60. And I want to read some comments. You know, there's just things in your mind that you want to say, and then you get to the video and you either lose it or you got to roll with the spirit, you know. Deuteronomy 28:60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt. Remember, there's no new thing under the sun, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in this book, because they've been hybrid, right? They've been mutated, written in the book of the law. Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Now, when you look at this thing with chlamydia, I believe it's chlamydia. It goes to the Greek word. Actually, it goes to the word cloak of mantle, which means to seize. And what it does is it seizes the uterus, and it destroys your uterus and your procreation. I wonder why. And I wonder why in so-called black woman. See the craftiness of this man and what he's done. He's managed to use psychology, right, and use that against you to persuade you to do certain things. This is what Satan does, right? This is why we call him the devil, you know, and Satan. So he'll use a form of psychology to sway you into doing certain things that you normally wouldn't do. And then the pressure of having to follow a trend leads you down to the path of destruction. This happened to all of us in every generation to some degree, right? No matter if the clothing trend, you know, now you have the hookup culture. So anyway, Let me read a couple comments off of that video. It's called Face Down by Sexy Red. And there was a couple people in there talking about the old school club music and so forth and so on. Well, now you have social media, okay? Now you have social media, which makes it 100 times worse. It was bad back then, of course. Gangster music was going on back then. Never said it wasn't. But when you add social media to the mix, and then you start growing in wickedness, and now the women are saying these things, it's bad. Somebody said editing went crazy. They went crazy. Beat went crazy, the vibration. Everything went crazy. This has become Generation Z's entertainment. See, this generation loves entertainment. This is why when they cross over to being an Israelite, it has to be entertainment in that Israelite arena. That's what people like, right? Sexy Red doesn't miss. I'm such a proud stan, supposed to be fan. Now, I grew up in a hip-hop culture. I come on that borderline. I'm old school, but I come on the borderline back with Eric B. and Rakim and Run DMC and Public Enemy and all the way up to Wu-Tang Clan and all the way up to the 3-6 Mafias and the Project Pats and all that stuff. And I've witnessed it go from one direction strictly to another direction. So this is not, I'm just not another old head sitting here telling you, well, you just don't understand the new generation. All of them gotten bad, and then it's gotten worse. The problem is, I believe Rehoboam, he didn't listen to the elders. Nobody wants to listen to elders. They want to do things their own way. When we're telling you it didn't work that way. Feminism has been destroying us. 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s to 2000s. And it's going to get worse. Anyway, we getting out of rehab with this one. Sexy Red is the only reason I'm here. She killed it. I don't understand that, and maybe I'm not in this generation to understand that particular type voice that said, these people were saying she's got that great voice, and it's all in the vibration, right? So we gone from the men behaving like this to now the woman. And you know it's bad when that goes down. What y'all think of Face Down? I don't think I want to read any more of this. They said the booty trampoline was sexy eats, man. And this is our people. Now you got to ask yourself, and these are probably very young people, some teenagers to 20s, 30s maybe. And where are their parents at, right? Where the father at, or somebody guiding them, telling them this is not the way to go. But anyway, we know through the crack era, through the 80s, 90s, the drug era, that changed everything, man. We was already screwed, but you know, you can see now even more so. Anyway, Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers have known. The Queen of Heaven, right? And various other gods, Christianity, Islam. That's what you're following. Okay, Deuteronomy 28:30. Thou shalt betroth a wife. You know how it is. You know, basically men, you know, you got all these gurus all over YouTube talking about the woman and how, and it's waking a lot of Jake up to the deception. But how far will they go? What is the solution? The solution is to come back to the Heavenly Father. That's what the gurus are telling you. And maybe it's not for certain people to know. To wake up to the fact that you're an Israelite. This is why the curses, you're under the curses you are. And to you woman, the natural order of things is totally out of order. Romans 1:27, I believe, said the woman did change that natural use of that which is against nature. This is it. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel. We don't equate this particular scripture with this, but I will. Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the heathen, right? Whether I will drive them, right? Now that goes into the foods, but it also goes into nourishment, right? We've been defiled and we are amongst the heathen, right? Amongst the Gentiles, let me say that, whether I will drive them. So all these customs and all these things that they're putting on us through these trends is nothing new under the sun. These people you see dancing in those clubs, in those temples, right? They're worshiping other gods. They've been turned over and worshiping other gods. You know damn well the Lord ain't with that. You got to know that. This is Lamentations 4:3. This is another version. Even the jackals nurture their babies, give them their breast to suckle. But my people have turned cruel to their babies, like an ostrich in the wilderness. Yeah, this is Eve. So Eve, and you Jakes too. You're not exempt. When I do this video, when it comes to Eve, it's just as disgusting for you Jakes, man. It's Jakes that love these type of women. So, you know, a wicked woman is given to a wicked portion. You Jakes too, man. You helped forward this affliction. They just used you to get it started. Now they're using Eve to finish it up. They don't want you. Eve, they don't want her either. They're just using her to further destroy the nation. It goes in waves. And when they're done with Eve and they're totally destroyed, they don't want you around. They want to get rid of all you Jakes. But we know you can't get rid of the children of Israel because we look like everybody and everywhere. That ain't going to happen, especially with the Lord's elect. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.